Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to what we're going to be calling the Brownout Audio Music Podcast, episode 4.1. The point one is on there because yesterday I recorded a podcast episode. I rushed it. I got impatient. It's my fault. Learning processes. Put it out there. Once I listened to it, I guess I missed some technical difficulties that were going on the podcast. Posted it, listened to it, and immediately contacted the guys that we talked about and said, I'm sorry, I got to take it down. I got to fix it. They were cool with it. As always, these guys have been patient with me and very cool. So today we are going to be talking about one band. It is a two-piece from Portland, Oregon. The name is Lagoon. L-A, they got like one of those little, I don't know what it is, like a language mark over the A, Lagoon. From the album, we're going to be listening to Grim Ripper. Now, normally I go on and I purchase the music. I try to practice what I preach and purchase the album or the tunes, at least, that we are going to be listening to. So you guys know I am trying my best, and you can follow suit and go support these bands. As always, this podcast is about supporting the local music. Brownout Audio does not want your money. If you like the podcast and you just have this overwhelming desire to support the podcast, go to the band, their websites, whatever ones you like, and purchase an album or some merchandise. Follow them. Look for when they're going to be playing their next show once all this COVID-19 stuff's over. Get out there and support them. And I was thinking, too, you know what? Even when you do that, if you want to, this is completely up to you, but feel free to just say, hey, I found you guys from the Brownout Audio Podcast. I would like them to know. I mean, it's good for these bands to know where they're getting the traffic from. So in the future, they can focus on that avenue to get more listeners, to get more exposure. So, you know, just like any other company, how did you hear about us and whatever? If you feel you want to, you do not have to. I do not care. My ego isn't that big. But it might be helpful for them to see, okay, I got some traffic from podcasts. Maybe they can look into doing more podcasts, not just mine or Brownout Audio, but any podcast to get them some traffic. So we're going to be listening to these two guys, these two fine gentlemen, Anthony on guitar and vocals and Brady on drums. I'm not going to be trying last names. I don't want to mess up anybody's last names. It's hard enough making sure that you're getting the name of the band right in the album and the songs. I'm going to focus on that information so you can find that and you can interpret their last names as you wish. Anthony and Brady from Portland, Oregon, two fine young gentlemen that are in the band Lagoon. To my knowledge, I believe they first put stuff out in 2017, and they've been going strong. And what I like about finding bands that have been around this kind of short a time, 3 years isn't that long a time, we don't have to catch up so much. We're getting with them. We're going to watch them grow. We're going to watch them continue to create and to find new avenues. And it's exciting. You get to travel with the band as they go through this process of becoming not necessarily more polished or whatever, but just growing as musicians. It's really fun to find a band and grow with them and watch their progress, which I really like, and I'm going to be following these guys more. So today I purchased the album Grim Ripper. Couldn't get this one on digital. I had to splurge a little bit, and I went and the digital album is not out. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. From Lagoon, correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't see an area to buy the digital album, so I thought, well, what do they got? They got vinyl. They had 35 left, so I got one, and guess how many are left now? 34. So go out and buy their vinyl. They're also on Spotify. A lot of their stuff's on Spotify. I would rather you go to their Bandcamp, give some direct support. Although listening on Spotify, it gives them more numbers. Their listens increase, so that gives them indeed more exposure. They keep counts of how many plays are on the song, so that's good too. And it looks like they got about 5,000 followers and whatnot on Spotify, so they got a nice following, a really good size following. And I hope to increase that with this podcast, because they really are some nice guys. I hope someday, once I get a little bit more polished and figure out some other techniques on this podcast, I could have them call in and we could do an interview, because there's a lot of cool stuff I'd like to talk to them about. Songwriting processes, their gear, stuff like that. We're going to talk a little bit about Anthony's gear. I don't know a whole lot about drums other than what sounds good, and Brady's drums sound great. Just great, fuzzy, lo-fi, dirty, sweaty goodness. I mean that as an absolute compliment when describing this band. I can't get enough of these guys. So we're going to get into a couple of songs. I'm not going to go in order on the album. We are going to play technically 4 songs, but if you break it down, it's really only 3. One is kind of an intro to the next. So we are going to start off with the kind of double feature. It starts off with a mild intro, "This Is Evil," and segues into the song "Down Below." Now, I believe "Down Below" is what initially drew me to this band, watching a live video on Instagram of them playing the song, and it was about 15-20 seconds, and I was instantly hooked. Just instantly fell in love with the style of music they were doing, the tone of the guitars, the drums, the fact that they're a 2-piece. Being in a 2-piece can be very difficult to try to make it sound like a 3 or 4 or 5-piece, because there's only 2 of you, so you got to really make that sound big in any way possible you can. And we're going to be going over some of the techniques it looks like they use. I'm just going off of pictures and what I've seen and stuff. We are discovering this band together. I've only kind of known about this band for the past few months, but I've been really digging them. So like I said, we're going to be learning about this band together. We're going on the adventure together. So without further ado, we are going to be playing "This Is Evil," segueing into "Down Below," and then afterwards, we'll talk about it. Hope you enjoy. Here we go.
When I say that I think religion poisons everything, I mean to say it infects us in our most basic integrity. It says we can't be moral without Big Brother, without a totalitarian permission. It means we must be afraid. We must also be forced to love someone in fear. At the essence of abjection, the essence of the master slave relationship, and that knows that death is coming and can't wait to bring it on. I say this is evil.
That was This Is Evil going into Down Below. Now, sometimes I kind of want to dive into the lyrics a little bit, but this one, I love the lyrics on this song. They speak for themselves. In previous episodes, I've mentioned for songwriters, when they hear other good lyrics, they're just like, damn, why didn't I think of that? And these are some of those lyrics that make me think that, like, why didn't I think of that? That is just some good shit. They're filling the hole in my soul with rock and roll, man. I love it. This Is Evil. I love how the main guitar line for Down Below, at least it sounds like it's just lowly playing in the background. Just slowly getting you ready for the jam to follow. And I like what they do on a lot of their songs. They feature, kind of, it reminds me of Quentin Tarantino soundtracks where he adds dialogue from the movie in as intros into the songs or playing into the songs, and it sounds like these guys might have been a little bit influenced by that. Maybe not. Probably not. I'm probably just talking out of my ass, but that is the conclusion I'm jumping to on my Jump to Conclusions mat. I bought it from Milton. Actually, it wasn't Milton, was it? Milton was the stapler guy. Anyways, great lyrics. Going into their tone, it's just, like I was saying before, dirty, fuzzy, sweaty, lo-fi goodness. Looking through their Instagram, one thing that caught me, I'm pretty sure I saw a rat pedal, an effect pedal, the Proco rat pedal. It's been around for a long time. A lot of great bands, great musicians have used it. It's a distortion / fuzz pedal that really, it's dirty, man. It is really, they call it the rat for a reason. So when I saw that, I have one in my arsenal as well. I saw that and I was like, okay, I like where these guys are going. Also, you can tell he's got another piece of gear that I have, and that's what I believe to be a 4x12 slanted cabinet from Marshall. They came out in the early 60s. It's just a piece of gear to lay waste to eardrums and equilibriums and your stomach. Like, the amount of volume that cabinet can push, it will fuck your body up. Like, it will mess with your equilibrium. Your ears will be ringing for days, it seems. And powering that 4x12, he's got an orange head. Orange amplifiers, again, been around for a long time. All your favorite bands in the past have used them. High quality, out of England. I'm pretty sure they're out of England. Great stuff. I can't tell exactly what head he's using because they've got stickers all over everything, and I'm not even sure he has a Marshall, but judging by the way it looks, I'm assuming it's a Marshall. Another conclusion that I'm jumping to. Well, one thing I like about this band is they cover up all brand names with stickers, whether it be their own band or other bands or magazines they like. Just any and all stickers are covering everything. And I like that about a band, when they're pretty much telling you, don't focus on the brand names or what gear I'm playing, or focus on, oh, he sounds this way because of this. In the end, they sound the way they do because of the two hands and feet from the drummer and the guitar player. It's all in the hands and the person themselves playing that music. I'm sure you could put these guys on different equipment and it would still sound like them because they have their own style. It also looked like he just got another amp, and I'm not sure, going with what we were talking about before, I'm making the sound bigger for a two-piece. Is one way of doing that is splitting signals, making your guitar go into two different amps so you can have one amplifier playing more low frequencies and the other amplifier playing more mids and trebles, more mids and highs. So you really are, you're faking a bass player being there. It doesn't sound 100% the same. It just won't. But when you are able to have those two speakers on either side of the stage, you really get that vibe. The sound is hitting you. And it just fills it out more. It fills out the frequencies of what's hitting you. I'm not sure if that's what they're doing. I mean, that orange and the cabinet he has is more than enough to slam you into next week with volume and tone. So I don't know, Anthony, if you're doing that. Maybe after listening to this, shoot me a message. Let me know what the story is, and the next time we feature you, I'll make note of it and we'll talk about it. But go check out their Instagram. Lagoon, just good stuff. The next song we are going to be playing, let me see, which one is this on? We are going to play the second song off of Grim Ripper. Grim Ripper! Not Reaper, Grim Ripper. I'm going to rip your heart and soul out. Lagoon, Grim Ripper, put out in 2018. This song is called Skate Fast, Play Loud. Now, why am I going to play this song? Because motherfuck, I can. Let's go.
What my dead friends give me is like power to say, hey, it's 6:30 in the morning, dude. Like, who am I skating for? I'm skating for all the people that can. And why am I doing it? Because the motherfucker I can.
Tight pockets have us stuck.
Holy shit. Skate fast, play loud. I would have loved to... This band would have fit in 20 years ago at the skate park when street skating, everything was really starting to take hold. Like, this band truly is like skate music. They would have fit in 20 years ago. I mean, this stuff is pretty timeless. I love that ending of the song, that drum, that bassy drum roll, just cutting out. I love it. That's a sweet ending for a song. Another thing I want to mention is on all of their releases, the album art. I don't know if the same guy does it, but the album art for the album that I purchased, Grim Ripper, I'm going to try and get this right. Rimba Ranu Wiwaha. I don't know if that's like real or what. Rimba Ranu Wiwaha. If that's like your legitimate name, I'm not trying to be offensive. I don't want to mess up your name. That's embarrassing. But the album artwork is amazing for all of these guys' release, and it looks to be all in the same kind of style. So this guy might, or girl, I don't know, or group, I don't know. I guess I should have asked Lagoon in a message beforehand, but this just popped up. We're discovering together, right? We're discovering together. I'm not a professional. I just love talking about good music. So if you don't, I'm sure everybody's got comments and shit all over me, but I don't give a fuck. So anyways, the album art is just killer. It kind of reminds me of, like, in a way, old school Iron Maiden and stuff like that. Really, really good artwork. I'm excited to get that vinyl in the mail and put that on the old record player and listen to it that way. I've been listening to it on Spotify for the past few days, and that's awesome, but it is pretty cool to pop that son of a gun on the record player and listen to it that way. So I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. To recap, this is Lagoon from their album. We're focusing on their album Grim Ripper. It is out for sale. They still have copies on vinyl. They have other songs and albums out. I highly suggest going to their Bandcamp go to Spotify, I guess, if that's what you got, but don't let that be the end game. If you really like them, go support them. Go support them. These bands spend a lot of time making these songs, investing in the gear. Like, in this economy, the gear is buying gear, getting studio time. It's expensive. It's expensive. It really is. And unless you're finding used gear and you're getting a good deal on it, even then it's expensive. What you end up paying for these songs is like 50 cents to $1 a song. That's a great deal. It's a great deal for when you consider the time and energy and thought and heart that goes into these songs. It's a steal. It's not going to break the bank by any means. It's not going to break the bank. So this last song we're going to be focusing on, I really like. This is the fourth song off of their album Grim Ripper. It is called Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. What a great phrase all around. Being prior Marine Corps, I heard that phrase a lot, and it was a phrase you wanted to hear. It meant you had about a 5-minute break. You had 5 minutes to catch your breath and have a cigarette and get your mind right and continue on with the mission or whatever you were doing. So This last song we're going to be featuring, Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. I want to play more, but I don't want to give too much away. I want you to go exploring. Subscribe to these guys' Instagram, their Facebook, Bandcamp. Follow them. Watch out for when they play live, because Grim Ripper is the album. Lagoon is the band. Jesus Christ, Claypool, get your shit together. Fuck me. These guys play a lot. If you look on their Instagram page and Facebook, the majority of it is they're not putting a lot of band pictures out, staged pictures or anything like that. It's all flyers from when they're playing live. These guys play live a lot. And I need to do some research and look at old tour schedules of theirs to see what their East Coast presence is, because I'm all the way on the East Coast. I'm in Michigan. So I'm hoping either they might come out my way or I might have to get my happy ass out their way to see a live show. Like I said before, hopefully this relationship continues and I can get these guys on a phone call for an interview. That would be awesome. Just to chat with them and get them some more exposure. Boo, 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 boo. A little bit shorter of an episode today, and I'm not sorry. Fuck it. They can't all be an hour long. This podcast, every episode's going to be different. I don't know the frequency on when we're going to be putting them out. I don't know if it's going to be once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. It is a lot about finding the bands. Before I want to talk about them, I want to make sure that I can buy the album or the songs that we're going to be talking about. And I can't buy the whole catalog. I got to save enough to spread it around. You know what I mean? So I'm getting a little bit from each. But it's a little bit of money going in their pocket. And I'm pretty sure Bandcamp at this point is still doing 100% of the proceeds, 100% of the sales goes to the artist. They're waiving their fees. So now is the best time to go and support the band. They're getting everything, all the money, and they can use that money for studio time, for gear to make sure that their shows are getting better and better and better, and just give you more new content. And that's the whole goal here, getting some exposure. So Lagoon from Portland, Oregon, 2 fine gentlemen. Anthony on guitar and vocals, Brady on drums. Anthony, Brady, I hope we can talk in the future. I hope you enjoyed this episode and it wasn't too embarrassing for you. I apologize. I'm not a professional. I just love talking about music like the fool that I am. So I'll shut up now. I'm going to play you out on Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. Thank you to everybody listening. Thank you for your support. You know who you are. People have been helping me grow in this avenue. This is only the 4th episode. We're going to keep going as long as we can. Thank you for the support and guidance. Brownout Audio Music Podcast at gmail.com. If you got some local music that I need to be listening to, send me their Bandcamp link on that email address, and I'll check them out. I'll check them out, and we'll try to get them highlighted. We'll do our best to get them highlighted. Brownout Audio Music Podcast at gmail.com. All right, I'm shutting up. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, motherfuckers. Take care of yourself.
Is that a joint, man?
Man, be careful with that shit, man.
Is it heavy stuff, man? Will it blow me away?